Dr. Umar Johnson pissed off a lot of white people today who believe Carmelo Anthony is guilty. Umar Johnson was on the It's Up There podcast with Loon, and they were speaking on the Carmelo Anthony situation. I've never seen Umar Johnson this passionate and animated. Umar Johnson went off. Now, some of the things he said I did not agree with, but a lot of what he said I think was absolutely spot on. And a lot of people hate him for it today.
Because you should be optimistic. Yeah.
You got to realize we the chosen ones.
Yeah.
God sent us here to be the custodians of justice.
I don't believe that at all. I don't believe in supremacy. I don't think there's a chosen race. I don't think white people are the chosen race, nor do I think black people are the chosen race. And I damn sure don't think those other people are the chosen race. Because once you start believing you're superior to another human being based on your skin tone, that's where things start going downhill. Right? I think we're all equal under God's eyes, and we're all humans, and we should all move as if we're equal. There's no supreme race. There's no, like superiority among races, right? We're all the same.
Why do you think there's been research, Loon, where they ask white people if you can pick your jury, who would you like to have on there? Almost every white person said they wanted black people on their jury. These are the people you mistreated your whole life. And you still want them on your jury. Because guess what, Loon? After they get finished calling us crack addicts, after they get finished calling us drug dealers, after they get finished calling us baby moms, after they get finished calling us eternal victims, you know what they also got to call us? The fairest people God ever put on this planet.
And I want to talk.
And that's exactly why the prosecution didn't allow any black jurors, Loon. Because a black juror with our balanced sense of justice would have saw that there's no way a child could go under a tent and know ahead of time that two white boys are going to come over there to jump him. Him having a knife, it's a complete contradiction for Caucasian nation to say, why did he have a knife? You walk around with guns every day. When you put your gun on your hip this morning, did you do it with the intent to kill anybody? Loon, these white people fight for the right to carry a gun out the house every day. Did you leave your house with the intent to take a life with that gun? No, you didn't. So why are you going to say this little black boy left his house with the intent to shank somebody with a 3-inch blade?
The same people who question why Carmelo Anthony had a knife, why would he leave the house with a knife? Oh, he was up to no good. They automatically assume bad intentions because Carmelo Anthony had a knife on him. Now, if you looked at the knife, it was like a pocket knife with it was like a utility knife. It was like a knife with like 3 or 4 different molds to do different things. This wasn't like a knife that was solely used for a weapon. This was like a utility knife with a purpose. Like you could very easily see why a kid or why anybody would have this utility knife, right? For daily tasks across your day. This was not a knife that you could say the only sole purpose of this knife was to murder somebody. But the same people who leave their house every day with firearms, they support the NRA, they support Stand Your Ground. Oh, they damn sure supported Stand Your Ground when Trayvon Martin got murdered. When Trayvon Martin got murdered after being stalked and harassed by George Zimmerman, they believed in Stand Your Ground was white folks' favorite law after George Zimmerman got off. I'm not lying. That's just a fact. Stand Your Ground was popular among certain white folks when Zimmerman got off. Now, listen, I'm not saying that Carmelo Anthony deserved no jail time. I'm saying, do you really think that's murder? Now, where Umar Johnson kind of got it wrong at, he says that he leave his house thinking he was going to murder somebody that day. Well, that's not premeditation in Texas. In Texas, premeditation is in the moment. So if they believe that you made up your mind a second before you did it, then it still counts as premeditation. In this case, they're saying that because Carmelo Anthony told him, hey, touch me and see what happens, that was premeditation, and that right there was murder. But why I say no, because Carmelo Anthony was still sitting down. He was still sitting down. Now, if Carmelo Anthony would have got up, took a bladed stance, and said, touch me and watch what but he was still sitting down. If he had intentions on truly murdering Austin Metcalf, he would have stood up, he would have positioned himself and took a stance to murder him. But he was sitting down, right? I think him swiping up or swiping that gun, a knife around, I think it was like a freak accident, to be honest. I don't think Carmelo Anthony meant to murder Austin Metcalf. I think he was trying to get him off him. Now, Umar Johnson would also get into certain like scenarios around a situation that even I thought was weird. Things like why Austin Metcalf's brother didn't take the stand.
Loon, do you really think a 5'8", 135-pound kid armed only with a 3.5-inch knife? Listen to this. Do you really think a 5'8", 135-pound child whose only weapon is a 3.5-inch knife, Loon? Do you really think he wants to take a chance and fight two football players who don't have any weapons? Hell no. That knife is no match for two football players.
Right.
You follow me?
Right.
Imagine Carmelo stands up, and by the way, Carmelo never left his seat. How can he be the perpetrator?
But what
he never left his seat.
What do you say to them?
But wait, this is what I want. Let me finish.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The prosecution know how fair black people are, so he couldn't have any on the jury. And why couldn't he have any on the jury, Loon? Because in the state of Texas, if you're on trial for murder, the verdict of the jury must be unanimous.
Exactly.
If one black person would have made it onto that jury, Carmelo doesn't go to jail for 35 years. The prosecution knew that, which automatically tells you what? The prosecution knew that the case was flawed from the beginning. Why you think they won't show you the video, Loon? They keep showing you grainy videos when you had witnesses out there who said a lot of people videotaped the situation. Most of the kids under the tent taped the case. Loon, they taped it.
That's probably the most underreported facts of the case. Because the dude Eddie, who was Carmelo Anthony's friend who took the stand, other eyewitnesses said, they seen his phone out. Like, they seen him recorded. Man, he took the stand and said, he was just faking like he was recorded. Right? He was not actually recording. He was just faking like he was recording for some clout. What? Who pulls out their phone? Who pulls out a working phone? Where, I could tap one button and get to my camera. Who taps on a working phone and acts like they are recording but don't actually record? I'm confused. What? Especially, they said the altercation lasted from like 5 to 15 minutes according to them. So you mean to tell me, like Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf is going back and forth and arguing for 5 to 15 minutes. Kids are around, phones are out, and nobody recorded? Clearly they're recorded. But again, unfortunately for Carmelo Anthony, you did this in front of all of his friends. All the eyewitnesses are his friends. You got no win in that. You should have played for the plea deal, man. Give me 15, bro. I'm going to take it, bro. Man, his friends, who are all part of the same social circle, understand this. The pressure was mounting. The pressure was so great that Eddie, Carmelo Anthony's homie, had to take the stand and say, we not that close. We not really friends like that. Because their social circle, you being friends with Carmelo Anthony, you coming and take the stand and saying anything positive about Carmelo Anthony, you are now a pariah in that social circle. You probably can't go back to your high school, right? Because everybody now is going to hate you. You're now the black sheep. So they essentially had to take the stand and go all pro Austin Metcalf. Not like they didn't want to. Again, they were his friends. So people were recording, but nobody wanted to give the footage. You know why? Because the footage would have probably made the situation look favorable to Carmelo Anthony. They would have probably seen Carmelo Anthony sitting down, Austin Metcalf, 6'2", his brother 6'2", towering over him. The other friends probably threatened to step in as well. And they would have seen poor little Carmelo Anthony in the middle of all of this, trying to figure out his next move. Man, they couldn't dare risk that footage getting out, man. And I also agree with the black jurors. Bro, think about it for a second, man. 3 black educators were disqualified for being educators. Wouldn't a black educator be the most qualified to make a determination and a decision on this situation among 2 students? But the 3 black educators got disqualified. They couldn't do it. If you have 1 black educator on that panel, they not voting guilty, bro.
Why did we never see a clear video? Because if you would have saw a clear video, you would have saw that Carmelo was not just in an altercation, okay, with Austin, right? It was Austin and Hunter. And not only was it Austin and Hunter, there were 2 other boys. 4 boys tried to jump Carmelo Loon. 4 of them. This is why they never showed you the video. Why you think, and I don't want to mix up the twins, understandably, one is deceased. I believe Hunter is still alive.
Yes, Austin.
Let me ask you a question, Loon. Do you have a twin?
No.
Imagine you have a twin, right? Another Loon. We're going to call him Boone, right? Loon and Boone. Boone was murdered. His killer is on trial for his life. You were there when that man took your twin brother's life. Can I ask you a question, Loon? How under heaven do you not take the stand in your brother's murder?
Right. I didn't understand.
I mean, you understand it?
Yeah.
Because if he would have took the stand, the defense could have cross-examined Hunter. Hunter, is it not true that you started this? Hunter, is it not true that you and your brother jumped Carmelo? Hunter, is it not true that it was 4 of you and not just your brother?
I said that from the very beginning. A twin brother didn't take the stand. I don't know a twin brother in the history of twins who's not taking the stand. But at his brother's murder trial, I don't know a twin brother who's not taking that stand, bruh. Especially if you did nothing wrong. Especially if you witnessed everything. Especially if you're the one who was walking with your brother up to the tent. So you understand his mind state and his mindset. It was being discussed before you got to the... You had a lot to offer and you didn't take the stand. Why? Because I think Hunter was more involved than they're letting on. I think Hunter was involved in this. I think Hunter, right, was probably one of the agitators. I think that's why, the video would never come out, right? They put out like the grainy video that, listen, bro, that video doesn't show a goddamn thing. That video shows shadows pushing. Yo, I see people say, yo, bro, folks told me, yo, Flacco, are you gonna react to the video? What video are y'all want me to react? What, like the grainy video? Like, I might react to the body cam footage, which I'm probably going to at some point, probably tomorrow or so, but like, bro, what about that video like tells y'all something impactful? Like what? It makes no sense whatsoever to me, man. Like, at all, bro, at all. But Umar Johnson would also go in on the father. And he would also point out how Jeff Metcalf, which is the father, he was really strategic from day one. He really, really, really was strategic. And he was trying to line up Carmelo Anthony's family from day one. And Umar Johnson really pointed out how he moved like a fox and he moved like a tactician and a general. And how this man been plotting on the Carmelo Anthony family since day one.
Drew Anthony, you're a and a coward, and you raised one. Kayla, you drunk. What'd you do to that boy to make him stab somebody? My God, what kind of mother are you? Hey, Kevin Hayes, you liar. Day after it happened, how many lies did you sit and type up on your keyboard, you big keyboard warrior? You a big tough man. You still live in Baton Rouge? Remember you said you'd come to Frisco, buddy? You're supposed to find me. I told you we could sit down and talk. That's all you do. Talk, Mr. Squeaky Clean. You're the only one in your family without a damn record. I guess that's something to brag about in your culture. You people hang your hat on the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Let me make one up. Y'all can let me make something racist up so y'all can go viral. I got a new name for Mello, okay? Because he was such this little boy y'all were trying to portray. How about Watermelon Felon? How's that one strike you?
But let me show you the Machiavellian military mindset of Caucasians. Let me show you the Machiavellian military mindset of Caucasian. What was Daddy Metcalf doing before the trial, Lone?
He was being very aggressive.
No, before the trial started. He was going to the press conferences extending an olive branch.
Well, no, one of them he went and he was standing in the. They kicked him out. They had
They
him.
did, but he said he
started to
came there
change.
to be supportive.
So he tried to start to act like he was.
He tried to act like a friend to the Anthonys to get inside. What's the movie coming out right now, Loon? Odyssey. Everybody need to go watch Odyssey. What was the basis of Odyssey? It was the Trojan horse. We're going to pose as a friend, send them a gift, and once the Trojan horse is behind enemy territory, let loose and destroy their ass. That's exactly what Daddy Metcalf was going to do. How do you go from going to the press conferences, trying to extend an olive branch, trying to establish some sort of conciliatory agenda, trying to achieve solidarity with the boy who accidentally took your son's life? How do you go from being a friend to the Carmelos to calling them watermelon felons in black BITCHs? He was never a friend. You cannot trust your enemy, Loon.
The father was laying it on thick. You couldn't trust it from day one. The father was talking about, can we pray together? Can we hold hands and pray together at this press conference? I think what the father was trying to do, which ultimately it worked, it kind of swayed Carmelo Anthony and his family from really speaking and being vocal during the trial or before the trial, and really pointing out the race factors of this, right? And they sat back. They didn't really point out the race factors. They didn't really make a big hoopla about it being no black jury, right? They really sat back and kind of got tricked, right? Like they got tricked into silence. And what happened was, he went to trial. He got found guilty. And now they're doing the opposite of what they did before the trial and during the trial, but it's too little too late. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, man? Do y'all believe? All right, that Carmelo Anthony is innocent? Is he guilty? Let me know, man. All right, do y'all believe that Austin Metcalf's brother Hunter has something to hide? Is that why he didn't take the stand? Let me know, okay? If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, click on this video right here to find out where I explain how T Grizzly just got himself in a really bad situation. I'm gonna see you guys in this T Grizzly video. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.